Grand Rising, everybody. Thank you guys for jumping on. Today is $1 screen print transfer Thursday. And we're going to get into that in a minute. Every Thursday is $1 screen print transfer Thursday. But wanted to come on today and attempt to give you guys a little bit of encouragement for those of you who are thinking about getting started. Maybe you're on the fence about getting started. You may not know where to get started, how to get started, so on and so forth. So we're going to talk about that today. And I want to drop a couple of words of encouragement to you. But first, you gotta drop your city and state as you hop on. So as you come on, drop your city and state, like the video, share the video, depending on which platform you're watching this from, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. I need you guys to go ahead and like that platform and then crisscross like the other platforms. Everything that you are going to find us on our business media handles is going to be the blanks spot. The blanks spot. That's with 2 S's. So you can hit us up on Instagram and follow us there. Also follow us on TikTok, Facebook, and also Instagram. Did I say YouTube? YouTube. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. Guys, we're pushing to get 7,000. We're about 2,000 subscribers short on YouTube. So we need you guys to go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, share this video, and like the video. Maybe you have a crafting buddy or a crafting friend or somebody who does apparel who may just need to hear this message. So we are a sublimation blanks and t-shirt transfer supplier. We're located just outside of Columbia, South Carolina. And today, once again, it is $1 screen print transfer Thursday. So today is the perfect opportunity for you to get $1 screen print transfers, single color, $1 screen print transfers for your t-shirt business or apparel company. Now, if you have not started and you're on the fence, I get it. I understand. But I was talking to my wife a little while ago and I said, baby, why is it that we have all the confidence in the world, or we're just going to go forward when it comes to a job? But when it comes to starting a business or maybe a side hustle or taking that hobby to the next level, we doubt ourselves. And she said, well, you know what? People are creatures of habit. We end up talking ourselves out of something oftentimes before we even get started. Also, with the job, we know that we're gonna show up and we're gonna get paid. Well, starting that side hustle or that business opportunity, you may not get paid right off the bat. So I want you guys to remember something. If you're on the fence, I want you to think about this. If you're on the fence about getting started, this is a sign for you to get started. Okay, this is a sign for you to get started. Another thing that I realized is that, especially if you're a crafter or if you've been crafting for some time, crafters don't like discipline. They don't like structure. And in a business, especially with the business opportunity where you're going to be providing products, services, creating things for other people, you got to have some type of discipline. Even with the job, you have the ability to call off if you have time off, if you are in good with the boss or the supervisor. Even if you don't have the days off, you have that ability to take that time off. Even if you don't know you're not going to get paid, you can do that. But in a business, you really can't do that. So you may be a first-time viewer. If you are, I want you guys to type a number 1 in the comments. And I need you guys to like this video and share this video, because this is going to hit someone right in their gut. Because this is a sign. This is a sign for you to get started. Not just because our transfers are $1. That's not just because of that. But also because there's so many different things that you can do to make additional money for yourself and for your family. A lot of people don't take their side hustle or their side business or their business seriously because it's not producing what they wanted to produce. But you got to remember, it takes consistency. It takes time. So those number 1s, welcome. For anybody who is coming back and everybody who's saying good morning, grand rising to you. Thank you for coming back. This is the Blank Spot. We are a sublimation blanks and t-shirt transfer supplier located just outside of Columbia, South Carolina. If you'd like to shop with us, and I know Instagram, it is backwards. They haven't fixed that glitch, so I haven't figured it out yet either. But if you're seeing us on Instagram, it is backwards. But everyone else, it is www theblankspot.com. That's THEBLANKSSPOT.com. Check us out on our website. If you're interested in shopping with us for $1 screen print Thursday, there is a selection choice on the front page of our website. Click on that collection, and inside that collection, you will be able to shop. Now, here's the deal. I have to say this. Here's the deal, because a lot of people don't read, unfortunately. You have to put 20 of the items in the shopping cart. You don't have to put 20 of the same items. You can mix and match. That's what makes $1 screen print transfer Thursday so great. You get the ability to mix and match your screen print transfer. So you don't have to buy 20 of the same ones. But it's going to be best that you go inside the collection on our website and click that $1 screen print transfer Thursday and shop there. Okay, we're going to talk about that later on. So starting a t-shirt business, it can be challenging. Starting any business can be challenging. And I know you guys are probably wondering, why is he on here talking about this is the a sign to get started. But I'm telling you, if you have been doing this more than 6 months, maybe a year, and you're getting better, you should consider doing this to make more money. Now, you may not be ready to start a business per se, but think about taking it a little bit more seriously, taking it to a different level. You're probably watching somebody on social media right now. You're probably watching some content creator, some crafter, some t-shirt maker, someone who probably proclaims that, hey, you know what? I'm not a gatekeeper, and I'm going to give you all of the tea. I'm going to spill all the information to you. And they may seem very helpful. And they may be very helpful. But everybody has a reason behind being on social media. I call it business media because I only get on here to talk about our business. Everybody has an objective or a goal by getting on here. Our goal by coming on here is to obtain more customers who are interested in the products and the services that we provide. When you go to our website, you'll see we have an array of products and services. Don't just hang out at the $1 screen print Thursday. That's great. That's a great start, especially if you're making apparel. Go and check out our entire website. You can't break the website. Click around and see what you can find. But you also have to think about some of the other things that are not shared. When you decide to start your business, and when you decide to take your side hustle or your side business to the next level, there's some things that you're going to have to decide, and there's some things that you're going to have to realize. Consistency is going to be important. Coming on, getting up in the morning, whether you have a job or whether you doing this full time, consistency is going to play a huge role in what you're doing. People are going to want to know why they can't see you. For example, we're not on here as often as we used to be on here, but our business is open every day and we're available every day. We're posting all the time. Everything is well. Thanks for jumping on, Lauren. I appreciate you. Hope everything's going well with you. We're posting all the time. The one thing that you find as a smaller business is when you're dealing with customers or potential customers, if they don't see you, you're non-existent. So you have to make yourself available in some type of way. When you're starting your business or when you're taking your t-shirt business to a different level, you're going to have to start thinking about it's not just the designs that you want or not just the designs that you like, but it's also going to be designs that are already being sold. That's another reason why $1 screen print transfer Thursday is important. So as we talk about this being a sign to get your business, to start your business, there's going to be a couple of things that you're going to need. A couple of things that I strongly encourage that you invest your money and your time in. There's going to be some people to tell you that you're going to be okay without it, that you don't need it. But for me on this video and sharing this information, there's going to be some things that you most definitely cannot do without. If you're going to be making t-shirts, you're going to need to invest in a clamshell heat press, something that's going to lock down, okay? Whether you decide to do something that's automatic, whether you decide to spend hundreds of dollars or thousands of dollars, that's your decision. I don't think you need a very expensive heat press to get started. As a matter of fact, I know you don't. You need a reliable heat press. You need something that's going to clamp down, something that you can control your pressure as you press your transfers, because pressure is going to play a huge part in all of the transfers. It doesn't matter whether it's a sublimation transfer, whether it's a HTV, that's heat transfer vinyl, whether it's rhinestone, whether it is a screen print transfer, DTF, it does not matter. Okay, pressure is going to play a huge role. So listening to people who tell you, hey, you don't have to spend a lot of money. You can, as a matter of fact, you can get started with an iron, or you can get started with an easy press. I wouldn't take that recommendation or that advice too seriously, because although you may be able to do it, you have to understand that it's about pressure. And if you cannot perform the consistent pressure that's needed to apply a transfer to fabric, then what's going to end up happening is you're going to create what I like to call a dud. Okay. It's called a dud. A dud is something that just did not go off. You know, firecrackers, duds, they don't pop. Well, you end up using an easy press or an iron, and you're not applying enough pressure. And although it may apply to that fabric, when it starts to wash, and it's one thing that my mom always says, what doesn't come off in the wash, it's going to come off in the rinse, right? So now you got to think about it. That's why you want to have a controlled pressure mechanism, which is a clamshell heat press, to apply your transfers. Because we are a supplier, and we're able to get our transfers and a lot of our products at a lower cost because we buy them in large amounts, we're able to offer you the ability to get started on Thursdays with your t-shirt business. You're going to also need some shirts. Now, I cannot in good faith recommend a shirt for you. I can't do that. But what I can recommend is you try different shirts, because remember, there's levels to this. Okay. There's levels to this. So we're going to pause on that. We got more people coming on. Grand Rising, thank you guys for jumping on. Appreciate you for jumping on. This is the Blank Spot. We are a sublimation blanks and t-shirt transfer supplier. We're located just outside of Columbia, South Carolina. Okay. And we're talking about getting started in your t-shirt business. Because it is Thursday and it's $1 screen print transfer Thursday, this is a perfect opportunity to get $1 screen print transfers. Watch our videos on YouTube as we talk about and apply these transfers to the fabrics, and you can be making your own t-shirts in less than 15 seconds, right? So got a couple of questions on here, and I'm gonna see which questions I'm able to address. If not, then I am not going to address them. Let's see. What's a grim? Not sure what that is. You want to know what is a good printer to start with? Hadn't talked about printers. Depending on the type of transfer that you're going to be using, you may not need a printer at all. Remember, we're talking about just getting started. And when you're just getting started, I want everyone to understand that we are on a budget. Okay? We're on a budget. That's going to be with 2 S's, Rosalind. That's going to be with 2 S's. Thanks for the effort, though. We're on a budget. Give me a second. We're on a budget. And contrary to popular belief, a lot of creators, a lot of people on the YouTube channels that are sharing this, I'm not going to be a gatekeeper type information, they're trying to encourage you to do it yourself. How is it that you can do it yourself when you know nothing about the business? I want y'all to think about that. I'm going to watch as many videos as you have on YouTube, on Facebook, Instagram, and any other media platform. And I'm going to be convinced that I can do it myself, because doing it myself means that I can save money. And not always true. It's not always true. Go out. I want you guys to go out, and I want you to research these screen print transfers, and also research DTF transfers, or any type of transfer. Research the printers that it takes to make these transfers. And then you tell me if you are financially able to do it yourself. Listen, guys, I'm not here to count your pockets. but it's going to behoove you. It's going to be to your best interest that you take away, you remove the I'm going to do everything myself and start thinking about this. What company can I collaborate with that can help me or that can provide some of the things that I need? A lot of things you can go out and do yourself, but you have to be able to do your homework and do your research to make sure you qualify to even make purchases from some of these companies. There's an advertisement going on right now that talks about buying a boatload of shirts for $1 a shirt. You got to buy a minimum, but you can buy a boatload of shirts for $1 a shirt. Me, myself, our company, I don't like using certain shirts. To me, and this is my preference, Gildan cotton t-shirts are not my favorite brand, but they're very inexpensive. And there's nothing wrong with them. Some of the colors, in my opinion, are off. I just don't like that type of shirt. But there's a company right now that's talking about you can go out and buy all these shirts for $1. And you don't need any business license. You don't need to have this, and you don't need to have that. I'm not saying that that's not a good opportunity to get started in. I'm not saying it's not a good way to get started, but I am saying this. Anybody, and I want you to think about this, anybody who relieves you of your responsibility to be the best that you can be, you want to kind of think about that. You may take it as, well, they're making it easier for me to get started. There's no responsibility. Remember, you said you wanted to be a legitimate business, which means you're going to have to put some things in place. If I don't need any retail license to make a purchase, then of course, I don't care about anything else. I can just go buy it. But some of these companies require retail license to make purchases. So you want to do your homework. Let me see. The cost of maintenance, upkeep, and supplies, but only look at how much they make. That's called overhead. And you're absolutely right. It can be very costly to run and operate a business, a t-shirt business, or any type of business for that matter. But when you are outsourcing to different companies, when you've done your homework, when you've done your research, and you have bought some samples, when you have bought some low-cost items that you can try out, it's going to make it easier. Once again, that's a great opportunity for $1 screen print transfer Thursday. You get to purchase 20 transfers for $1, and you can call it a sample pack if that makes you feel better. You invested $20 plus shipping and handling, and you now get to check out the quality of what we have. Okay. But yeah, getting printers, getting ink, getting paper, getting powder, getting film, getting whatever it's going to take for you to operate to run a printer at a different level, you just may not be ready for that. But still in all, a lot of people are selling you that dream. They're selling you that, hey, you can do everything yourself, and you can. But remember, you got a full-time job. As a matter of fact, type a number 2 in the comments if you have a full-time job. I'll wait. If you're working with a full-time job right now, type a number 2 in the comments. Because that's how it really gets started, y'all. I have a full-time job, but it's just not fulfilling. I started doing this as a side hustle or a side hobby. I started doing this to save some money for myself and my family. And I wanted to start making some money. But I have a full-time job. So when you go to work from 8 to 4, from 9 to 5, or from 12 to 12 all day, a lot of you guys are not going to have time to come back and design and print and, cut and all that stuff. But it doesn't take long to make a shirt. It doesn't take long to make a shirt. Another thing, I want you guys to think about something. Everybody who's listening to this, I believe that everybody is creative at some point in some level in their lives. I believe everybody has the ability to create, because in my opinion, in my belief, we were created by a creator. And if everybody is creative at some certain level, then everybody has the ability to create. But don't allow your desire to create stop you from making money as a t-shirt maker, as an apparel business. What do I mean by that? Everybody has ideas. Everybody has ideas about this particular design is going to be that design that goes viral. This particular design is going to be the design that makes me $1 million. It's going to make me 6 figures in the first year. Let's be realistic, y'all. How many people honestly go viral with the design that they created? And how many people actually create a design and then protect the design? Because not only you're not the only one that's eating off of that design if you don't protect it. So the likelihood of you going viral with the personally created design is not that high. The numbers and the average and the percentages, they're not in our favor. However, when you find something that is already selling, when you find phrases that are already selling, hence $1 screen print transfer Thursday, it's going to make it easier. When you find someone who wants to buy a shirt or some type of apparel that says kicking it old school, and you find people who like that, it's going to be easier to make money from that. I'm not trying to discourage you from being creative. What I'm saying is a lot of times people are not successful in their t-shirt business or their apparel company because they're too busy trying to create brand new things. When truth be told, nothing is new under the sun. Everything has been created already. There may be a new twist or a different twist to it, but everything has been done already. Something to think about. The best way to make money in your t-shirt business or your side hustle, the best way is to buy transfers that are already created. We're not famous on social media or business media. Grand Rising, thanks for jumping on. We're not as popular as we would love to be on social media. But that message is a message that stands. Unless you are creating your own personal apparel line and you are making apparel, you're making shirts, you're reselling t-shirts, you're reselling sweatshirts, hoodies, jackets, finding phrases, finding designs that are already selling, that are already popular is a great way to get started. You have to understand something. I want you guys, even if you're not a numbers person, I want you to think about the numbers. Just in this country alone, there's about 97% of people in this country who are not business owners. They don't even have a side hustle. That means that 3% of people either are business owners or have a side hustle. Where am I getting the numbers from? Go Google and do your research. It may be up or down, but go Google and do your research. There's about 331 million people in this country right now. Men, women, and children. Older and younger. Maybe less because of, Trumpology. But just think about that, okay? The people who you see on your timelines, if you are making shirts, if you're creating apparel, if you're a creative person, the people who you see on your timeline are doing the same thing that you do. Rarely do we see people outside of the people who we see on our timeline. What does that mean? That means that we're reaching people who are doing what we're doing, which is not the best thing. So if we're reaching people who are already doing what we're doing, that means that the potential of us, the ability of us getting out, we're not reaching our potential. So if 97% of the people are not business owners and 3% have a business or side hustle, and you're looking to start a business or a side hustle, then you're in great numbers. You just have to think about how you share your information. You have to think about who you involve on your page, on your timeline. You have to think about that. That's something to consider. You have to look at who am I sharing my ideas with. If I want to sell this t-shirt that I have on, if I want to sell an item in our store, in our warehouse, then I have to go out and I have to appeal to people who are going to buy those items, not people who are going to make them just like me. That makes no sense. If I'm making t-shirts for a side hustle or for a full-time business, I cannot consort with t-shirt makers all the time. I have to consort with customers. Who's going to buy my t-shirts? And I guarantee you that that's a huge problem for a lot of people. Getting outside of your current network. Your network is supposed to support you in getting to where you want to be. Give you some encouraging words. Add some value to what you're already doing or what you want to do. But when you use that same network to try to pitch ideas to them, to try to pique their interest and sell them things, it's not going to work. What about the other 97% of the country that's looking for your items? Think about it. Where are those people and what are you doing with them? 330 million people. 331 million people in this country. Starting a t-shirt business is not as hard as a lot of people would make it out to be. It is challenging. It can be challenging, but you can do it in steps. If you're starting out as a crafter, if you started off as a crafter and you feel confident in your ability to craft, then you may be ready to take it to a different level of side hustling or even a business. Just know that some days is not going to be as fun as it was when you was crafting, because you're going to have to be organized. You're going to have to record things. You're going to have to buy samples. You're going to have to make sure things work the right way. You're going to have to spend some extra time and some extra hours outside of your job connecting with people who can actually help to get you to the next level. There's a epidemic of crafters in communities who share information. Sharing is not always caring. When you become a business owner, there's going to be some things that you want to hold close to your chest. There's going to be some things that you're going to keep to yourself. Those are business secrets. Those are the things that you've done to exercise the ability to get your business to a different level. So everybody's not going to want to get started in business, because we cannot separate the consumer mindset from the business mindset, the producer mindset. Some of us are not going to want to do business because it means that I have to separate from some of my family members and some of my friends, some of the people I hang out with, because they don't understand what I'm going through and what I'm doing. And some of them really don't have your best interests at heart. You won't find out until you get ready to elevate and go to the next level. But for those of you who do want to get started, you can get started today. All right. You can get started today. If you are already doing t-shirts, if you're already doing apparel, these screen print transfers for $1 on Thursday are great for apparel. Whether you're putting them on hoodies, whether you're putting them on t-shirts, whether you're putting them on crew necks, whether you're putting them on jeans, jean jackets, whatever the case may be, they're great. Okay. So go ahead and check us out. www.theblanksspot.com. Here's something I want to leave with you guys, because I know for a fact that a lot of you guys are not going to share it. Maybe you're going to forget to share it. Maybe you may think that this doesn't apply to you, and it may not right now, but it may apply to somebody who's in your circle. Take whatever you're doing, take it seriously, because as soon as you start taking what you're doing seriously, it's going to show you a lot of different things with a lot of different people. The minute you start taking your business seriously, whether you call it a business or a side hustle, the minute you start taking it seriously, people are going to look at you differently. Some of y'all are upset because people are not taking you seriously. But you have to ask yourself, have I taken myself seriously? Am I doing the work that's required to get to the next level? Or do I just come on people's lives or watch people's videos and ask them questions for the shortcut? Think about it. It's one thing not to know where to get started, but it's another thing to dig in there, go to one of the most popular platforms, search engines out there on social media, check it out, type in specifically what you want to know and start trying to find some things out. And then later on, come back. And if there's a live such as this one, then you ask a question. Asking questions like what the best printer is, what the best laptop is, what the best software is to design in, what the best heat press is. Asking all those questions are irrelevant if you're not ready to make that next step. That's it. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys for jumping on. Today is $1 screen print transfer Thursday. As a matter of fact, every Thursday is $1 screen print transfer Thursday. I wanted to come on here and give you guys some encouragement. Hopefully I was able to do that with the sprinkle of truth and a sprinkle of reality. Hopefully I was able to do that. But I want you guys to go to the website. The website is www.theblankspot.com. That's THEBLANKSSPOT.com. There's 2 S's. Check out the $1 screen print transfer Thursday. Put 20 in your shopping cart and you get them for $1. If for some reason your money is funny and your change is strange and you can't shop with us today, our screen print transfers are 25% off every day. So that means that you can get some samples for $1.75 per transfer. This gives you the ability to shop, mix and match without going directly to a source and having to buy 75 or 100 of the same transfer. That's why we do this. Hopefully you found some value in the conversation. Once again, like the video, share the video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, guys. We are almost at 7,000 subscribers. We need you to get us over that hump to 7,000. This is the Blank Spot. We are Sublimation Blanks and T-shirt transfer supplier located just outside of Columbia, South Carolina. We will be doing more videos like this to engage with our public, to engage with our consumers, our customers, and our clients, to assist you guys in getting to the next level. Allow us to be your supplier to help you to get to that point until you no longer need us, until you graduate. Okay. So like I always say, when you know better, that's when you have the ability to do better. And the only knowledge that's powerful is properly applied knowledge. I will see every one of you at the top because there are too many people struggling at the bottom. Peace.